Shalom. Giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. When I give double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone, which rule well. Peace and much love, honors and blessings, and salutations to the elect of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, which hold their conduct, composure, and integrity, standing firmly and believing upon the names of Yahweh and Yahushai. All right, Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God, but his name is Yahweh. This is the true name of the true living power. He is the creator and maker of all things, Yahweh. And he has a son, the only begotten, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. But his true name is Yahushai. All right? There was a prophecy at one point in time, which came true, that the Lord would send an angel before the people, his people, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, during the time of the deliverance of Egypt, out of Egypt, where the Lord said that he would send an angel, and that his name, the Lord's name, would be within that angel's name. And that angel, still came back, man, again, all right, through various time periods, man. But the ultimate revealing was when this individual was born from his parents named Joseph and Mary, and they called his name Yahushai. All right, and if you listen to the name Yahweh, and then you say his son's name Yahushai, then the Lord's name is in his son's name. But if you say God and Jesus, you don't hear God and the word Jesus at all. That'd be like saying God Jesus or something, Salakia. But this is why we know and believe very, very firmly and are fully persuaded, the ones that believe sincerely, which are the elect, Lord willing, I'm a part of that number. That's why we know that these are the names. All right? Even the scriptures say that our spirit bear witness. Okay? And ultimately the Lord, Yahweh, and Yahushua revealed these things to us by the Holy Spirit. All right? The Father revealed these things to us. Okay? So that's why we're able to understand and we're able to know, and we're not out here guessing. All right, we know that these are the names, Yahweh and Yahushai. Okay? And eventually it's going to come to a point where all things are going to bow back down to those names. Okay? So all in all, call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right? But I want to get on this topic real quick. Kind of a continuance of a video I did a couple days ago about you getting tired, bro. You're giving up. But there was a precept that a brother posted that I didn't even think about to get. He posted two scriptures I didn't even think to get. But then while I was thinking about this precept, there was another precept that I haven't thought about in a minute that I remembered that is perfect for this lesson, man, because if you can quickly come to understand that in this ministry, you're going to be pushed to your limits, and then even more so. The Lord, breaks your limits in this thing. All right. The scriptures talk about one believing he made eat herbs, the other one strong meat. But the Lord is about leveling every man up. All right. Scriptures do talk about having a measure, a lot, a portion. But we in this truth, man, we always pray for more and more. We want to increase more and more. Ultimately, so that we can become better. In the grand scheme of all things, to be perfect. All right, and that's in this life. This is where we're fighting to, be better. All right, but something that was brought back to my remembrance with this precept, man, was Job 11:6, because you get periods, man, where like the apostle said, man, it feels like sometimes the whole world is coming down on you at once. These trials that you got to deal with, man, that the Lord will give you at times. When the Lord really turns up the heat, man, it feels like you can't get out, or it feels like you're gonna fail. And I'm talking about failing as far as the Lord doing away with you. Okay? But when you read this precept, man, it helps you, get more clarity, because the Lord's not about destroying a righteous man, all right? And the Lord, he knows what you want. All right? But you got to know what you want. Okay? You got to want to see this thing all the way through. Okay? You got to want to be righteous in the end. And so, the scriptures talk about how the Lord gives every man to his like. Well, if you like being distracted and, allured away from this truth because of lusts and desires, then that's what's going to happen. But if you ask Yahweh Shai daily to take those things away from you, like it says in Proverbs, remove far from me, all vanity. You got to want these things, okay? And you got to understand that wanting these things, there's a cost to it. And that cost is that you got to put in that effort. I say it like that because, you got to put a lot of strength into this thing, man. All right, it's not easy, doing what we do in this ministry. All right, and I want to be humble as possible to say that because, I'm going, me and the bros that I'm with in this camp, man, we all going, 14, 15 years into this thing, man. And we still feel like it's almost like day one of when the Lord started really turning that heat on us in these trials, man. Sometimes these things are just like, damn, like it gets hot. And so you got to have that spirit of reserve, man. You got to have a spirit of resolution, okay? You got to have a spirit of determination. The scriptures talk about being steadfast and unmovable in this truth, man. Being rooted and built up. And the only way you're going to be built up is if you're occupied within this truth, occupied in the scriptures. All right? What is that? Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. There's another precept in the gospel where it talks about, give attendance to reading daily. All right? That's the only way you're going to level up in this truth, man. All right, meditate wholly upon the ways of the Lord, as it says in Sirach. But, the reason why I'm saying this is because you're going to get your answers in this truth, man. All right? And that's why, let me go ahead and read this in Job because, like I said, sometimes that heat gets so bad, man, it feels like you're not going to be able to get out of it. But at the end of the day, man, the Lord is still not doing what he could actually do to you. You got to remember, this is a time where the Lord is giving mercy and grace. And the Lord is about mercy and grace, man. The scriptures say that the Lord is full of compassion. I believe that's in Micah. Okay? The Lord is full of compassion. And the scriptures tell you too that the Lord has no desire in the depth of the wicked, man. You should want to, but if you are wicked, you should desire to want to be righteous, man. All right? So the Lord could do a lot more to you than what he's already doing to you if when you do go through things. All right? And so Job 11:6, it says, and that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. It says, no, there's a positive and a negative. All right? And you got to see that, you got to see it like that in this truth too, man. You got to be positive, man, because, scriptures do say, shall we only receive good from the Most High and not evil as well? It has to be a balance. So when things are going well for you, man, you kind of got to expect that you're going to be tried soon. All right? When things are going decent for you and going well and you're in this truth, that's because the Lord is, alleviating that fire for a little moment. Letting you have a time to breathe. You've been burning the whole time, right? The Lord been putting you through that fire. Well, shit, he's gonna take it off. So you've been yelling the whole time, complaining. He'll take it off and, okay, all right. Then the Lord could be like, you ready? You ready for it again? Yeah, let's go again. And then he turned it back up. Okay? But here it is again, and that he would shew thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is the balance. But it says, know therefore that the Most High exacted of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth. that right there, man, blew my mind today, man. I love this scripture, man. But sometimes you go into other precepts, man, and you don't come around to that precept for another long, minute. That's kind of what happened here, man. But this is one of my favorite precepts, because this right here, man, this helped a lot, growing up in this faith, man. The Lord could honestly kill you on the spot right now. And really what he should do to every human being on this planet, even the elect, is kill him right now. Because we're all worthy of death. All right? We've all done things where the Lord, should drop us right at that moment. Before I made this lesson, I clicked into my brother's video, and I only watched, just a little bit of it. But, he was talking about if the Lord has you in his crosshairs, he ain't missing. He ain't missing. And if he has you in those crosshairs, man, that's very fearful. That's a very fearful thing. Okay? But the Lord could do whatever the hell, the Lord could do whatever he wants to do, man. One of my other favorite chapters is, Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter, when it talks about how the Lord is not a tyrannical power, basically. He ain't, what's his name? Jim Carrey? Yeah, Jim Carrey. And Bruce Almighty, he said, God is a mean man with the magnifying glass at the top of an anthill. The Lord is not like that, man. The Lord is a perfect balance. The Lord is righteous. All right? He's all righteous. He's all good and he's all righteous, man. And use understanding when I say he's all good. Because all of his works are perfect, man. There ain't nothing wrong with them. There's always a reason he does whatever he does. There's always a purpose to it. And that purpose, Salakia, really, is more beneficial, than what we would want to purpose or, have done. Scriptures talk about how, how is it, how does it go in Hebrews, where it says, I can't even think of how to word it. It yielded the peaceable fruit. Let me see if I can find it. Yielded. There you go. Hebrews 12:11. Now no chastening, no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, because you'll be like, damn, this hurts, There are things that you learn to tell yourself, man, and it's true too, man. Like, don't ever talk shit to the Lord, man. And if you are being chastened by the Lord, don't buck up. You take it, all right? There's certain behavior that you should just know not to do, especially when you learn that there's an omnipotent, ubiquitous, omnipresent, omnipotent king, leader, God, deity, infinite power. All right? You would think twice and be wise to not want to say something that when he could do anything. Okay, so now you put it together, like it wouldn't be a bright idea to, why the fuck you doing this to me, man? You're supposed to take it. Like I said, there's a purpose to everything, man. It's just proven that. Hebrews 12:11. Now, no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, because it's not. It hurts. It sucks. It's like one thing just keeps piling on after another. Now, chastening too is for correction. All right. There's a difference between rebuke and chastening. Chastening is imagine your dad, found out, you're at school and you called your teacher a name, and your dad brings you home and he gives you one whooping. That's deserving. You did something for it. We've done things deserving of chastisement, man. But imagine you were told not to do it again. But you go back to school and you said, my dad said not to do this, but fuck what my dad said. You still, whatever. And then your dad hear it. Now it's going to be more severe. Like, not only did you disobeyed what your father told you not to do, but then you disobeyed your father, full blown on, So now he's like, all right, you're going to test, you're going to test me. This is how you talk about me after this. All right. And a lot of times, man, Jake gets caught up in that rebuke session, man. All right. Because Jake is about trying to direct and, do what they want to do, which is not what we're about in this truth, man. We're about, yielding ourselves, stopping ourselves from doing things that we know we shouldn't do. All right. Scriptures talk about being abstinent, man. We practice refraining from things. All right. Because this world, all it pushes is just, hypersexual, unbridled behavior, man. I'm saying that as both, because, it's just all about conceiving lust, pleasure, and, just doing what you want to do and making yourself feel good all the damn time, man, and having no control over it. But we, man, when we do something that is true, the Lord will correct us. And now here's a part. Well, actually, you know what? Let me see. Let me get the full chapter because there's actually a part. Yeah, right here. Hebrews 12:5. It says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. It says, my son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord. There you go. Just scripture speak better. I just said it. Despise not thou the chastening of the Lord. All right, and we learn that through chastisements, rebukes, afflictions, temptations, trials, all of them, man, is how the Lord teaches us to be obedient. I know the scriptures talked about Yahushua, man, that by his sufferings, he learned to be obedient. And that's what the Lord is doing with us, man. We're learning to be obedient. We're learning to be in order. Okay? And the Lord looks highly upon a man like that. He regards a man like that's obedient. Look what he gives to a man that's obedient, man. Riches, glory, everything he wants. And all the Lord required you to do is just to worship him. Bow down and worship him. All right? But it says, my son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. And hey, that right there is a spirit, because I didn't remember that last part. But yeah, you ain't supposed to give up. There's been examples of Jakes in this thing, man, that they got offended, man, and they gave up. Ultimately, because they couldn't take the chastisement, man. They couldn't take the chastisement of the Lord, whether it came by a man telling them to, knock it the fuck out and, stand up as a man, or stop your shit, or get in order. We told you to get in order, you didn't. Man, fuck that, I'm tired of hearing this shit, man, from you. But then you forget at that moment that it's still the Lord talking to you through that man, but you see it as that man. Oh, how you gonna come at me like that? This is a little side, note, but like, everything that happens, even me speaking right now, was ordained by the Lord, man. All right? That's why you can't buck up when things happen to you, because ultimately it's the Lord doing it, man. The Lord is testing you. All right? I love talking about that talking point, man, that everything is a test. Every single thing in this world is a test. All right? I can't think of, quick examples right now, but even the silliest of things, man, is the littlest of things are tests. Like, well, now I'm not gonna get sidetracked. I had an example, but I don't feel like telling it. But yeah, my son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth. Okay, that's why you get in that heat. All right, that's why I always like to use it. The common examples with Jake, man. That's why it's a flat tire, man. That's why you get pulled over, man, or that's why you're stuck in a traffic jam. Your woman coming against you. You get annoyed when you walk in the door. You can't get no peace. The bills are piling up. The people on your job fucking with you. The system might come at you. Just common men's affairs. If I'm saying it right, the affairs of life. There you go. The affairs of life. All right. These things just keep on happening to a Jake, man, and he'll lose sight of what's really happening. The brother said it the other day in the chat, which the brother he said it to, he knew, but man, y'all, and that's another thing, man. Don't ever act like you've heard something enough in this truth when it's advice. All right, you can never hear the same thing of advice enough, especially in these times, man. Our minds forget a lot, or our minds get dull. We in his flesh does not want to retain sound wisdom and words. So you never want to despise advice. Doesn't matter how plain and easy it is to comprehend. Don't despise it, man. Use it. All right? But for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. He corrects you through those chastenings. All right? And if he do it, well, that's what I was going to say. What the brother had said, he said, because the brother was, talking about how he said Satan was around him all day, trying to mess with him. And the brother said, if Satan wasn't fucking with you, man, I'd be worried that you may not be a man of the Lord. Something like that, He's like, you may want to question if you're a man of the Lord, but, it's true. I remember hearing that, man. The Elder Ariala said it a long time ago, man. But he said, if you ain't going through hell, man, you might want to question what's going on. Because going through hell in this time is a part of this truth, is a part of this ministry. All right? The fiery trial. Okay? The furnace of adversity. All right? That's the condition of hell. All right? But it says, but if you be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are you bastards and not sons. Right? And that, proves Romans, the first chapter, and everybody who claims that the Lord is with them. All right? When they keep on, walking in their iniquity, and they keep on doing it more and more, and they think the Lord's with them because ain't nothing happened to them. Nah, man, you're a bastard. Because the Lord would correct you if he loved you. But because you want to do what you want to do, he's leaving you to your own ruin. And that, in the end, has a great consequence and price to pay, man. Ultimately, you're going to pay with your life. All right? The whole world thinks they're blessed. And how wrong are they? If you're going through hell in this thing, man, you're doing something right. All right? So, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us. And you know what? I say that with understanding. Use understanding with that as well. All right? Don't just intentionally put yourself into hell, man, or into situations that you shouldn't be getting yourself into. I'm saying that when, Satan and these spirits are messing with you and things are just always going wrong, and you're actually walking, as best with direction as you can, then yeah, good, because that's the Lord trying you, man, to see how you're going to hold your integrity, how you're going to hold yourself as a man, how you're going to come out of it. All right, you're going to come out bitter, you're going to come out with a stoic mentality, So it says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Because at the end of the day, again, like from the beginning, the Lord could do whatever he want. The Lord could do whatever he please. All right? He don't have to save you. That's another thing, man. He don't have to save you. All right? The Lord even said that heaven is my throne, earth is my footstool. He don't need you. And it can be a little hurtful. It does suck, like, you were as worms and grasshoppers, but the Lord gives you value, man. And that's by you being able to be a vessel that can retain and hold his word and his ways within you. Okay? You can do that. The Lord makes you something, man. Jake wants to have reputation. Jake wants to get glory, wants to have scepters and riches, but then, obtain the wisdom. All right? And that's why the Lord corrects us. That's why he chastises us, so that we can get to that level, Lord willing. But we know that in this time, only the elect are going to get that. All right? But it says, furthermore, it says, shall we not much rather be in subjection to the Father of spirits and live? It says, for they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit. There you go. This, man, call Allah Yahweh Bashem Hasham, man. Scriptures are beautiful, man. They're cold. It says, but he for our profit. There's a purpose to it. All right? There's a purpose behind that ass whooping. Okay? There's a purpose behind, them lights getting turned off. I'm not saying get them turned off, but, there's always a reason, man. All right? And really, if you overcome the situation, man, properly, you're using wisdom, you're using the knowledge that the Lord gave you, all right, and you're comprehending what's going on. You're not just like, going through emotion blindly or just dismissing the importance of it. Like I'm teaching you a lesson, right? You got to learn from that lesson, okay? So but there's a purpose, all right? There's a reason why these things happen. There's a reason why you may go a month without lights, or a couple months, with just piles and piles of bills, man, with no money, whatever, Again, affairs of life, whatever it could be, any problems, any mishaps and unfortunate circumstances in this life, man. All right, but it's always for a reason. It says, "But for they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness." This is the ultimate goal. This is the ultimate purpose, so that the Lord can, make you close to him, and ultimately deliver you. That you can inherit that promise in the covenant, the promises in the covenant that the Lord promised to his elect, right, his chosen. Okay, if you endure chastisement, man, and you make it to the end, then the Lord's gonna bless you, man. He's gonna be with you. He's gonna sup with you, man. Imagine that. Imagine eating a dinner with Yahweh Shai, man. I can't even think about it, man. Like, what would I say? What would we eat that night? How would it go? What would I learn by the time he leaves? Like, man. So it's just, there's a lot of beauty that comes out of this, man. We just get, we're just being polished is all. And that requires friction and abrasion, molding, okay? And the scriptures even talk about, the potter, man, how y'all fashion the clay as he sees fit. That's what the Lord is doing with us in this time, man, fashioning us as he sees fit for his using. The scriptures talk about being meat for the master's use, okay? So it says, "Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous." Yeah, it's annoying. It's a burden. It feels burdensome, heavy, depressing, "Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby." All these purposes, man, all these reasons, all right? It says, "Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet." The path you should be walking and always remembering to be on is walking for this faith, man. Walking for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, looking for the kingdom. That should be it, all right? We do get distracted. Every single one of us is guilty of that, man. And, can't lie about that. Every one of us gets distracted in this thing at times. But you gotta be able to recognize when you're too distracted. You also gotta be able to move while that heat is on you, man. Not just sit there, bitch up and complain, and fail the test. You gotta be able to move through that fire and get to the other side. And then that ultimate other side is the kingdom, man. We hoping that we get delivered in this time. All right? But make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way. But let it rather be healed. There you go. Let it rather be healed, man. "Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord, looking diligent, lest any man fail the grace of the Most High, lest any root of bitterness," because you don't want to be weary in well doing, man. That's Galatians, 6 and 7? All right, let me see. No, Salakia, Galatians 6 and 9. It says, "And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." Now, I have this pulled up in the NIV too. It says, Galatians 6 and 9, "And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart." You got heart? You got heart? Oh yeah, that was what is it? Baby Boy. They were at the park. He's get Mr. Alizé over there. But he says, "Put your chin up," and he's about to get him, and the dude doesn't flinch. And he's like, "Oh, this nigga got heart. He got heart." And look what happened. Dude didn't get, punched in the face. Instead they treated him like a kid and whooped his ass, man. And really, if you have heart in this thing, like, it's kind of like that with the Lord, man. If you take if you take that chastisement, those whoopings, those spiritual spankings, all right, the Lord will, he'll keep it light on you, man, rather than just be like, "You know what, you spoiled brat, I'm gonna just do away with you, man." You should say in your mind, you'd rather take a beating than death, So, yeah, man, let me read this and then I'll finish it off. Hebrews 12 and 15 again. "Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of the Most High, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled. So you got to learn to roll with the punches. You got to also learn to heal while walking, man. All right, learn to heal with those wounds while you're still walking. All right, even if you got to drag yourself, spiritually with the hand, while that leg is, you just got out of a spiritual battle, man. Just keep on pulling, keep on going. All right, go to the end. So yeah, with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which rule well. Peace and much love. Honors and blessings to the elect of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahshai, which hold the conduct, composure, and integrity. To the next I say, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Brakatham. Kwam Yashala, Shalom, Shalom.